Here's a wild thought. What if the smartest people on Wall Street, with their Ivy League degrees, Bloomberg terminals, and suspiciously expensive ties, are actually worse at investing than a boring spreadsheet that just does nothing? We're talking about one of the most quietly explosive debates in modern finance. And the answer might genuinely change how you think about every dollar you've ever saved. Let's set the scene on one side. You've got active fund managers, the rock stars of finance, charging you 1, 2, sometimes 3% a year to beat the market. On the other side, you've got index funds, basically a robot that shrugs and says, I'll just own everything, charging you closer to 0.03%. Now here's where it gets spicy. Study after study, decade after decade, the data keeps saying the same embarrassing thing. According to S&P's SPIVA report, over a 15-year period, roughly 80 to 90% of active managers underperform their benchmark index after fees. Think about that for a second. You're paying more money to smart humans to get worse results than a passive algorithm that doesn't even try. It's like paying a personal chef $500 a meal and they keep losing to a microwave. So why does this keep happening? The core issue is something called the cost drag. Every percentage point in fees is a percentage point your investment has to overcome before it even starts competing. Imagine you're running a race, but every lap someone straps another pound of weight to your legs. That's what fees do to active returns, compounding over time. And the cruelest part, the compounding math means that a 1% fee difference over 30 years can eat up tens of thousands of dollars of your retirement money. Now, to be fair, there was a golden era when active managers genuinely shone back in the 1960s and 1970s. Markets were less efficient, information was harder to get, and a sharp analyst with good contacts could genuinely find an edge. But today's market has thousands of professionals, machine learning models, and satellite data counting cars in Walmart parking lots. Finding a true edge is like trying to find a secret menu item that everyone already knows about. Here's the psychological trap though. When active funds do outperform for a stretch, it feels like proof that skill is real and sustainable. But research by scholars like Eugene Fama and Kenneth French shows that most of what looks like manager skill is actually just factor exposure. They happen to hold more small cap or value stocks during a run, not because they're geniuses, but because the tide was going their way. And yet, the active management industry manages somewhere around $60 trillion globally because hope, branding, and the very human desire to believe someone smart is watching over your money is an incredibly powerful sales pitch. We keep buying lottery tickets not because the odds are good, but because someone has to win, and we all secretly think it'll be us. Let's bust the biggest misconception right now. People assume active managers protect you better in downturns, that they dodge the crashes, while index funds just ride them down. But the data shows most active managers don't successfully time market exits either, and by the time they get defensive, the damage is already done. Another myth is that index funds are only for lazy or unsophisticated investors. In reality, Warren Buffett himself has publicly and repeatedly said that most investors, including institutions, would be better off in low-cost index funds. When the Oracle of Omaha tells you to stop trying to be the Oracle of Omaha, that's probably worth listening to. So what's the practical takeaway here? Keep your costs ruthlessly low, because fees are the one variable entirely within your control, unlike market returns, timing, or which fund manager is having a good decade. Diversify broadly, invest consistently, and resist the urge to chase last year's top performing fund because last year's winner has a statistically terrible chance of being next year's winner. Discipline, time horizon, and position sizing will do more for your wealth than any hot stock tip or 5-star Morningstar rated fund. There's something almost philosophical about this whole thing. The market humbles everyone eventually, and the investors who survive longest aren't the ones who outsmarted it, but the ones who stopped trying to. Consistency beats conviction, and process beats prediction, almost every single time. At the end of the day, whether active managers occasionally beat the market isn't even the right question. The right question is whether they beat it enough, consistently enough, after fees to justify the cost and the risk of being wrong. And for most people, in most situations, over most time horizons, the honest answer is no. If all of this has you thinking about smarter ways to build wealth beyond just the stock market, check out our links in the description below, where we can help you get started, whether in real estate investing, home contracting work, or finding lenders.